Have you guys all heard the joke about the ninja and the black guy?
No.
What about the one about the Hispanic in the field? Have you guys ever heard about the one about the Asian driver? Or how smart you are compared to the blonde? It's not so funny, is it? Most of the time, racism really isn't. My speech is going to be about the racism that we all experience, or that we all have witnessed, that happened right here in America. My purpose is to inform you, and my underlying purpose, hopefully, is to have you guys leave here with a little bit more education about a very serious subject. I'm going to talk about many different racial groups that we have in America, because America is the land of the free. We have so many different racial groups, from African Americans to Middle Eastern, Orientals. First group that I'm going to talk about is the African Americans. A very prominent point in American history was the slavery, as well as the Civil War that was fought to abolish slavery. Another example is also the civil rights movements that happened afterwards. And the mainstream view for African Americans a lot of times is that it has to be that thug attitude, that rapper attitude. It's either you're an athlete or you're no one, such like that. No education whatsoever. But there are a lot of examples throughout history that show many different individuals that have fought that mainstream stereotype. One of them being Martin Luther King, who was one of the prominent civil rights movement leader. We also have David Drummond, who is the chief legal executive for Google. So any time that there are any legal issues, legal problems, they actually send this guy in. Right? That actually do something. We have our first African American president, Barack Obama, who, though we may not agree with his financial plans, made history by being the first African American president. We also have a Miss Dorothy Gilliam, who was the first African American woman to work for the Washington Post. Next racial group that I would like to talk about are Asians, or also known as the Oriental group. A lot of times, these individuals are usually the butt of the jokes, driving jokes and such like that, which is actually really interesting because there's actually a driver by the name of Charles Kwan who actually has won three different race car driving. Three different race championships, and he's actually one of the top drivers in the world, well, top 50. The Oriental group first experienced their first segregation back in 1849 during the gold rush that happened on the west coast of California. A lot of them were shipped over, and they were actually made to work the fields, a lot like the African Americans were prior to that. Another example of segregation was after Pearl Harbor, which was in, I believe, 1942, when President Roosevelt actually signed a document saying that even though it is illegal to discriminate, he actually did allow for a lot of Japanese Americans to be segregated and put into certain barracks during World War II after Pearl Harbor. But the thing is, though, is that many people may think these certain stereotypes when, in fact, a lot of individuals have actually broken those stereotype barriers. There's Michelle Kwan, who is one of the top ice skaters in the world. We also have Jerry. We also have Jerry Yang, who is one of the creators of Yahoo. We have the individual Stephen Chu, who received the Nobel Peace Prize in physics for his work in cooling atoms. So if ever you hear someone talking down about one of Oriental descent, bring up one of these examples. We have 4 great examples right here of individuals who say, you know what, I chose not to live within those stereotypes, and made it their life goal to fight for what they wanted to do and for them to stick out. Next group that I'll move on to are the Middle Eastern individuals. These individuals experienced a lot of racism and discrimination after the September 11th attacks on the Twin Towers. However, though many people, when they hear Middle Eastern, they think terrorists, they think people of violence, they think bomb and such like that. One of the biggest peace symbol was actually Middle Eastern, by the name of Mahatma Gandhi. Sorry. This individual actually is, like I said, a single individual and a symbol of peace. He gave so many examples when he fought without violence. He fought for freedom, not only for the people in his country, but he also inspired other individuals such as Martin Luther King during the Civil Rights movement. Next, I move over to Hispanic individuals. People they say a lot of political jokes about these individuals, saying they're only there to work the fields and such like that. When in reality, these individuals have done much more than just work in the field. Caesar Chavez actually fought for many workers' rights and unions. We have a mission leader, Junipero Serra, who actually fought, who will actually help establish all the missions that we have on the West Coast. Not just the one that he worked at, but he also led and helped other missions to be established. We also have Ricky Martin and Jennifer Lopez, who these two individuals actually their albums top a lot of charts, not just here in America, but they also top different music charts all over the world. And also the Caucasian race is also a lot of jokes. People often think, Caucasian should be snobbed. I mean, they're snob individuals. They think that they're actually better than the rest, which is entirely not true. Right here, I have 2 great examples of 2 individuals who actually helped fight for equal rights for many different minorities. And these guys even put their lives on the line and even paid with it. Both these gentlemen were presidents of the United States, and both of them were assassinated. And the leading cause of it really was just for how, in their term, both signed documents abolishing one abolishing slavery, and the second one abolishing discrimination in public. So the conclusion of my speech was, as I said before, to inform you about the different racisms that we have, the different forms of racism that we have in America. But I also wanted to show you how to give you guys great examples of individuals who fought against that racism, individuals who felt that what was happening in the world that was surrounding them was wrong, and they decided to step up and to fight against it. And I hope that I can be the same way, and there can be examples where you guys can follow in their footsteps. So next time you guys may hear a joke, say, hey, no, that's not right. That's actually incorrect. Thank you.
Cody, what did you think? Cody's not with us? People is gone. All right, well, I'll tell you what I thought.